You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Go for it, Jim. Climb the ladder, kid. Make yourself famous.
A podcast covering all things WWE.
I have now returned to save the WWE.
NXT.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
And AEW.
Holy wrestling. I couldn't be more happy.
Here are your hosts, Kyle Gagliardi and Jim Tucker.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks. I am your host with the most, Kyle Gagliardi, and as always, I am joined by my good friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Dig It!
What's going on, Cal?
Tucky, it's February 5th, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah, fuck.
Is it February 5th? Did I get the day wrong?
No, it's the 6th right now.
Jesus Christ.
Upon 2/5/20, that was yesterday. Is that Velveteen?
Yeah, you know what? That's why I was thinking about that, because I was preparing the outline. I had to Google stuff for February 5th, because sometimes when you watch things live, you kind of forget what's happening. So we got to get everything down on the outline. You know, just the whole show prep stuff.
Throw it up, put it up, throw it down, that kind of stuff, yeah.
It's a hard world out here for us podcasters. We actually have to do research sometimes.
Yeah, I have taken notes while watching. I leave them at home every time.
Really?
Yep.
Like
And then
paper notes? Are you a
Yeah.
paper note? You're a paper note guy.
Especially on Wednesdays, I cut the piece of paper down the middle, fold it in half. That's my dividing line. NXT on one side, AEW on the other, because I watch them both at the same time when I can.
I think next time you should try to remember to bring those, because we're going to be hitting episode number 20 next week, and it's a monumental occasion.
Yeah, 20's a big boy, yeah.
19 episodes. We started in August. I actually looked that up the other day. I was like, did we really? We did start in late August.
Yeah.
And that wasn't wiffle ball season still a thing, or no, we were past that.
I think we were freshly done with wiffle ball, just a week or two out or something.
That's right.
And yeah.
And I shot you that text. Hey, you want to do a wrestling podcast? as I was a part of one at the time.
Did it was kind of like the blinking guy gif,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. So,
and here we are.
It's been fun.
Here we are, episode 19 this week in wrestling. But before we get into that, we got to remind everybody, Tucky, that we are proudly a part of the Overtime Sports Network. Tell the listeners a little bit about OTSN.
The Overtime Sports Network is a collection of blogs and podcasts from a bunch of like-minded people, just volunteering, chipping in, trying to contribute to our fan base and anyone that's interested. You can visit otsportsnetwork.com or go to Twitter @_OTSN. If you'd like to contribute, we got room. We've got next, and we've got room.
Apparently we've got now, according to the Region Degenerates. That's the new thing.
That's true, yeah.
I think they just put that out there.
We've got now, yeah, a bold statement, for them to make the proclamation. I didn't know that they were, that forward in the bus, but...
Well, I did say, because I put out that tweet for OTSN, like if you get the Super Bowl score right, you win a prize, which was a jersey. Nobody won that, by the way. But they predicted, the Region Degenerates Twitter account said, natural disaster, the game doesn't happen. I go, if that doesn't happen, or if that does happen, you get control of OTSN.
Yeah.
So maybe they thought that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, no.
Should we give the reins to Mikey Wilson?
Well, they are one of the more consistent podcasts on the network. You got to tip your cap to them.
I would say they are probably second behind A Work in Progress.
They cuss a lot.
They do.
A lot.
They're degenerates.
If they were paid by cuss word, they might be hundredaires.
They would be the highest paid people at OTSN, that's for sure. But yeah, at OTSN, we got a couple podcasts. Some aren't as active as others. Family Divided is going to be taking a break since football season's over with. We got A Work in Progress if you want to check out another wrestling podcast featured on the Overtime Sports Network. What else do we got, Tucky? What do you know?
You've got Wheelhouse Podcast that's hanging out.
It is?
T-Walk is off the boat for Family Divided for now.
We have fired him
out of season. I like the seasonal thing with Family Divided that we're going to hit it hard during football season. We're going to chip in,
and not super hard.
Yeah, well, you said it. the Wheelhouse side of things, we've been hectic on the schedule front, but that does free T-Walk up. And the nice thing about Wheelhouse is it's not a current podcast. We can throw a podcast out there at any time, and you can go enjoy any of the ones we've put up. So
here's a Wheelhouse tidbit that you probably would appreciate. I believe last week was the day that Pablo Sanchez turned 20 years old.
Oh.
Big day in history of backyard baseball.
Wow.
You used to play that game, right?
Yes.
Dude, Pablo Sanchez.
Number one draft pick.
Was there a
every
better
time.
player?
No.
After that, I was a big Ahmed Khan guy.
I would take a Pablo on Couch right now.
You know, you looking for some players?
No, we're in a good spot. We're in a very good spot, but anyone that could chip in, you wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, Couch Baseball. We got a sponsorship, kind of a partnership with you guys.
Yeah, Overtime Sports Network is going to be one of our $100 level sponsors. Chipping in, and they will be on the banner, and the banner is going to be right on our press box. So everyone that as they're looking to find their seat, hopefully they see that logo, and 3 to 7 of them throughout the season want to pop out.
I should come out there and maybe do a little broadcast at one time.
Hey,
I have
need a
history.
PA guy. We need to we'll make you the PA guy, because right now, for every kid's walk-up song, I am recording the intro myself, like now batting for the Mustangs.
Oh, no.
Just so a kid can play it, because
Right,
we
you just
have
hit a
trouble
button.
finding a PA guy.
Well,
So,
maybe.
ooh.
I'm going to throw my hat out there in the maybe pile. But yeah, make sure you check out OTSN, OTSportsNetwork.com on the interwebs, and @_OTSN on Twitter. Tucky, do you think it's time to get into some wrestling?
Yeah, and while you're on Twitter, follow me @JimTuck89. Make sure you head over and file
You know, you did this last week, too.
It's 3 weeks in a row. File Kahlo. File Kahlo. Follow Kyle on Twitter @TooSweetKyle.
Too sweet. And what's going on in the main roster here, Tuck? You want to go back to Friday Night SmackDown? Were you able to catch that?
Yep, I'm current. I'm up to date.
Live? Recorded? What were you watching?
I think that one might have been live, or maybe like a half hour late or something.
I think I was about like
pretty
a
on
half
point,
hour
yeah.
away, too, because there wasn't much going on last Friday. But a few things I want to talk about here on SmackDown. Number one, we have a new Intercontinental Champion. We thought this match was going to take place at the Royal Rumble. I
Yes.
still haven't heard if that is actually booted from the Rumble or just never was
made
planned.
it. Yeah, I don't know either. But I predicted Braun. I think we all predicted
did.
Braun. Yeah, and it came to fruition the Friday after. So, congrats.
And I think it was deserved. Good timing on it. It just felt weird to me specifically that, let's be honest, since The Fiend isn't on SmackDown every single episode, this is probably you're going to be the champion that is featured the most on
Yeah.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing it in the middle of a SmackDown, right at the start of the second hour,
Yeah.
timing seemed a little off for me.
Well, yeah, I don't have much because they're not going up against anybody. So
It's true.
with the way everything shook out at the end, I didn't see that bumping it, but it could have been the last match of the night.
Yeah, that's what I
before
was
the
thinking.
angle. Yeah,
Because once again, we main evented with Corbin and Reigns, which they were in a tag match, obviously, but once again, this got to be the end of that feud, though, right? Like, after Friday, we're done?
nope, double dog food match.
Oh, Jesus.
If you win, you got to eat dog food. If you lose, you also have to eat dog food.
And you got to put on the mascot, and then you got to go to the dog pound.
And yeah, that'll be a nice YouTube segment.
Oh, boy. Let's just hope that feud's over with. But
Please.
moving on to feuds, obviously, Braun Strowman is going to need a feud going into the road to WrestleMania. Any particular guys on that SmackDown roster that you could see maybe stepping up and making things interesting for Braun Strowman?
Does Corbin pivot that way?
I was going to say that.
because you don't want to put Roman Reigns against him.
No.
We just shut the book on that. Corbin starts. He's got his little stable. They can try to take Braun out. I think that's a natural pivot. I can't think of anybody else with a little bit of. I mean,
Sheamus,
yeah, okay. Well, that's
heel, yeah. I mean, but how great are those matches going to be? Because when two big guys get in the ring, it's usually not the greatest.
right. Yeah,
But it's possible.
Sheamus. I don't know. They going from Shorty G to Braun Strowman. That's a wild move.
Well, we had another one of those matches on Friday. Why do we need that again? That's what I want to know.
The problem is more than one person said, "Yep, we'll go with that again."
Because it's not a one-person decision.
Right, yeah.
I'm looking up and down the SmackDown roster here. I mean, you got Apollo Crews. He's not worth going against. You got Elias, who's a baby face. It's John Morrison's involved with the Miz and the tag. There's just not another name, I think, other than maybe Sheamus or King Corbin.
Yeah.
And do I want them to win the championship? No, because I think Braun Strowman, this is his first singles title. Let him run with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give the big man a chance.
He was pumped about it. You could tell when he was holding the title that it actually
Emotional.
meant something, you know. And that's kind of what you like to see. So, which one would you rather see, Sheamus or Corbin?
I think the better feud, just with what's around him, is King Corbin.
I agree.
Because he can draw that heat and get people more behind Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's too soon for Sheamus to get thrown right into the title.
And there's no straightaway cause for him to be thrust in that. King Corbin thinks he deserves everything. You know, he's got that.
Which he might.
I don't know.
He's progressively he's growing on me slightly, Tuck. I can't lie.
I don't know that our fandom is at the level of a Vogus.
No.
But,
did you see his tweet back to me today?
No.
There was like a thing I quote tweeted, like, name a commentary saying that gives you goosebumps. And I jokingly put, "It's boss time." And then Vogus responded, "All hail King Corbin."
Of course.
Of
course.
Of all the things. And then Ian put, like, Edge's entrance. I was like, did you not read the tweet? They're talking about commentary.
Come on, man.
And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I didn't read that." I go, "That's that ISU education right there, Ian."
Well, he was top of the class at counts.
Was he really?
Yeah. He ain't paying a lot to go there.
I was going to say, is he paying attention to detail?
I don't know.
Pick it up, Ian. But the one more thing I want to talk about on SmackDown, honestly, probably the thing I'm enjoying the most that's not happening in the wrestling ring, Otis. Otis has finally gotten a date with Mandy Rose. How does this make you feel as one of the bigger heavy machinery guys?
Yeah, you know, Otis, friend of the show. You love to see it. Good facial expression when he realized that the Friday after next was Valentine's Day.
I forgot about that too.
God, I just love the guy, you know, and I like heavy machinery, and I don't have to apologize for it.
I hope this isn't like leading to him and Tuck having like a breakup.
No, because he's gone. Tucky will be gone.
Oh, there will be one star that's shining brighter.
Yeah.
That's going to be Otis here.
But I do like how they give Tucky a presence, that he's almost like coaching Otis through these social situations and things like that. So, yep.
Otis needs Tucky, and he's going to need his advice here going into this date. Very excited to see what happens next Friday. It's not this Friday, everybody out there. So you got time to get your girlfriend, your wife, a nice Valentine's gift.
Yeah, and this would be a great time to add like a sponsor here.
Oh, yeah. Or you could, you know what you can get your girlfriend or your wife?
Some Southern Glazers?
No. A nice OTM shirt. Aren't those still for sale?
I can hook you up. I can definitely. I'm sure it's still on that website that we tweeted for months ago. But
we have a website.
No, they're the screen printer website. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that would be that is a sponsor because it is us. Buy our shirts.
Order a size down for the lady.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nice tight little fit for you.
It's a premium blend. It's not a joke of a shirt, by the way. It's a nice.
I kind of want
shirt.
A different shirt, not a different design, but maybe just something different. I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about it.
I'm willing to talk.
I want to rock some OTM at AEW Revolution.
Okay.
So we might have to work on something there. But that was basically it from SmackDown. Anything else that you can recall?
No. The Orton Edge stuff.
Orton Edge, Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton opens up the show.
No, that wasn't SmackDown. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we can go into that. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I don't have anything else from SmackDown. Yeah. The Orton and Edge stuff.
No Edge.
No Edge. I think he's coming back this week.
I'm not sure if that's.
They mentioned we might try to get an update on the neck or something. But Orton kind of booed out of the building. Strong presence from the crowd there, and I respect it.
You don't see it often, especially in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not real true heels other than maybe King Corbin.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, all he had to do was just go after a fan favorite, a legend, a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Dude said 4 words.
Yep.
And he got booed out of the building for the first 10 minutes. This is eerily similar to what happened to Roman Reigns after WrestleMania, but they weren't booing Roman because they hated him. They just hated the fact that he was being shoved down their throats.
Right.
People hate Randy Orton.
Right now, he's got a death threat at least once.
I'm sure more than once.
Yes, I know it.
And even Beth did a good job last week on NXT on commentary, kind of looking concerned about her husband.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, this is a feud that I'm already loving. We got plenty of time to keep developing it.
Yep.
Randy Orton, top heel on Monday Night Raw?
Find a better one.
I can't. So, good opening there on Monday Night Raw. It's good to see this story just already getting built, and we're only in February. Angel Garza, there's a name that we weren't expecting to see.
Yeah.
What do you think of this new alliance alongside Zelina Vega? Kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah, I was a little confused about it because are they doing like an Andrade, Angel Garza, Zelina Vega kind of faction?
Well, you know what I think it is. Andrade was suspended.
Yeah, there's that.
Substance abuse. I don't know exactly what that entails. I didn't see any details on that.
Spending too much time with Ric Flair?
You talking about the cocaine? But no,
I don't know.
But no, you got to have Zelina Vega on TV because she's a valuable asset. So Angel Garza probably could benefit from a mouthpiece too.
Yeah, he spoke on NXT last night. He does have charisma, but I don't know that he's got that nice fluid. At least he's not talking in his native tongue like Asuka and Kairi saying.
Don't bash Kabuki Warriors.
I'm not.
That's their thing, man.
You don't know what they're saying, though.
So this obviously, I think, has to do with the fact, like I said, that Andrade suspended. This was probably the feud they were going with Humberto Carrillo, but Angel Garza and Humberto got family ties. Like, they're cousins. There's something there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe this is just going to be the next month's feud until Andrade's back? Or are we leading to something with maybe even like a fatal four-way with Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania?
Ooh, wouldn't be bad.
We need to bring back those multi-man. I know you weren't around for most of them, but there were plenty of years they would just throw 6, 7, 8 guys into a ring with a ladder and say, have a ladder match.
Yeah.
The IC title or the United States Championship.
Mm-hmm.
A fatal four-way with Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Andrade, and Rey Mysterio. That'd be straight fire.
That wouldn't be bad. Because we saw just 2 of them go at it with Rey Mysterio and Andrade.
They've all mixed it
was
up.
A good match, Yeah, put them all in. A little mixer. Let's rock.
Yeah. So you're behind. Are you behind this Angel Garza push? You liking it?
I don't hate it. I'm not completely for it, but when he's on again, I do think he's a good wrestler. I like watching him wrestle.
No, yeah, always a good match. I see even Bully Ray on Twitter comparing him to Eddie Guerrero.
I'm not at that level yet, but I'm also I don't know that I'm
know enough about
have him
Same.
so fresh because I was such a kid, and I remember watching him and all that stuff, but I didn't have it was very passive in my viewing.
I could see
then.
maybe the in-ring ability being compared. The charisma is there, like you mentioned. Like Angel Garza has that.
Mm-hmm.
We just need a little bit more building. And
Yep.
with time, and now that he's on maybe the main roster, Angel Garza might get that opportunity to shine. So at the main event of Monday Night Raw, we had a number 1 contendership match to see who would face Brock Lesnar at the Super Showdown in the Saudi Arabia.
In the Saudi Arabia.
I don't even want to correct that because who really cares? Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley, Ricochet. Who do you think was going to win going into this?
I was between Ricochet and Rollins. I didn't think Lashley stood.
I thought
a
it was
chance.
going to be Lashley.
Did you? I kind of actually leaned towards Rollins, but I didn't have a reason to, so that kind of was like,
From a story standpoint, the Ricochet getting the win
yeah.
here, it makes sense because you go back to the Raw before the Rumble, where Brock laid out Ricochet. Then at the Rumble, Ricochet low blows Brock, leads to him getting eliminated. Then eventually, Ricochet's getting his opportunity. This can't be anything other than a squash match, am I right?
They'll probably give it 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 6
Kind of
minutes.
like what they did with Ray at Survivor Series.
Yeah, like he'll get a little bit of offense, tease the crowd a little bit, but if Ricochet faces Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, the stadium will catch on fire.
And obviously that match would be terrible, but come on. For the WWE Championship,
No,
There's just no chance.
we are ready for Lesnar and McIntyre to collide.
We are.
It does give a little substance to that Super Showdown a little bit. Brock Lesnar's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
Might be Ricochet's only opportunity at a WWE or Universal Championship until maybe he gets his mic skills up.
Yeah, he's a while away.
Very, very bland and very blah. It would be
Vanilla.
like if you threw me and you out there and just sort of like, all right, kid, go cut a promo. It'd sound like Ricochet.
No, I think we'd be better.
You think you can out promo Ricochet?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a new segment on the show. Out promo Ricochet.
You know, Mike Wilson from the Region Degenerates, as my assistant coach with baseball for probably 6 or 7 years now. He's no longer my assistant at Couts, but Mike Wilson has been known to cut a WWE promo in our huddles after we play the field as we go to hit. Last year in the sectional, cut a Hulk Hogan promo, put up an 8 spot, 10 run the team.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I might have to hear one of these promos.
He's pretty good.
All
He's
right.
got
I
a
could
couple.
see that. I mean, he's got the enthusiasm for it and the bravado. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. But anything from the main roster you want to touch on? As I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's anything else we really missed.
Ruby Riott.
Oh, yeah.
That happened. Very
No.
green.
Not like her skill, but her
Just like all of it. Hair,
gear.
gear, yeah.
Ruby Riott's one of those people that eventually I think she could get a title.
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised if she takes it from Becky or gets a shot against Becky.
Are we turning away from the Liv and Lana program now to
Hopefully.
get to Ruby and Liv? Yeah.
Because we've had 2 straight weeks of Liv Morgan Lana matches.
Yep, and I think that's about enough.
We've done enough there. And Liv's looking great.
But they've each got a win now, don't they?
Wasn't Lana's, though, by disqualification, I think. See, I rarely even pay attention when those two are and that's nothing against Liv. I just hate the story. So, Ruby Riott being back is a pretty big deal. Not the only return this week, as we'll touch on here in NXT. But other than that, anything else?
Nope, let's move it.
Moving on to NXT here as the Broserweights, the winners of the Dusty Classic, would open up NXT on a golf cart, or was that like a
An
gator?
all-terrain vehicle?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was something. It was interesting.
It was cool.
It was cool.
It was cool.
It was funny. They had their trophy and everything. They come out there virtually saying, hey, we're going to take those titles away from you, bro. And then the Undisputed Era comes out. Riddle had some funny lines. You know, he's remaining entertaining out there.
Yep.
How much fish could
Bobby Fry fish if Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish.
Yeah. And he got the crowd chanting it.
You know you're an impressive profile. I can't even talk.
Tip of the tongue, teeth in the lips. Out down brown cow.
You know you're an impressive promo when you can get that whole arena saying how much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish. How many times did he practice that?
Oh, you know,
Like
while stoned in the back.
just repping it out.
I love how even Mauro Ranallo's even throwing out like smoking references too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like they're not hiding the fact that Riddle likes to get stoned.
Is it legal in Florida?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I know it's legal in Illinois, Michigan, New Jersey.
It'll be legal on the moon before it hits Indiana.
I was gonna say we're gonna be one of the last ones here living in Northwest Indiana.
Bro,
so
we
we're
just got
surrounded.
alcohol on Sundays like a year ago.
And you still can't do that. You know you can't buy till noon?
Yeah, noon to 8.
I walked into Walgreens at 11:50 Super Bowl day. I was like, I gotta get some White Claw.
Why not? Yeah.
She goes, you know it's not noon yet. I go, oh shit.
Girl, I seen a clock. I know it's not noon. What?
Yeah, no, that was my initial reaction. I'm like, oh yeah, you can't buy until noon. So I literally was just walking around Walgreens with White Claws in my hand, just waiting for it to turn.
Staring at the magazine rack. Unfortunately, you can't grab a wrestling magazine anymore. They're at those.
Stopped?
No, they're there. They're out there, but I don't think you can find them like at a Walgreens. Like Pro Wrestling Illustrated's still a thing, but
There's one I used to be subscribed to, and I think I got the last issue, and I kept it just because I think it was the very last one. I don't know what it was titled, but it's something they used to do that you had to be subscribed to. So maybe I shouldn't get rid of that.
no, hold on to it.
It's chilling in a drawer somewhere at Ralph and Donna, so
There you go.
might have to discover that. But what do you think about this opening segment?
I was entertained. I think it has the potential to be match of the night, but that Takeover Portland card is going to be nice.
It's on Sunday, right? We confirmed that?
Is it? This Sunday?
Next Sunday.
Sunday,
No,
yeah,
the
yeah.
following. So
Right.
next week we will do NXT TakeOver predictions.
Yep.
Because, I mean, why not? It's going to be a great show.
Vogus, we'll see you here.
Oh. Is that
as a guest spot, probably.
No, yeah, that's what I'm
Our
saying.
previews are always better with guests.
Okay, Ryan Vogus, if you're listening right now in your car, Friday morning on your way to a store.
A Baron Corbin gif will indicate that you're in. Just add it. Just add us.
Yes, right at the episode's tweet.
Yep.
All right, so there you go. That's how we opened up things for NXT. After that, we would get Angel Garza, who was just on Monday Night Raw, this time without Zelina Vega, in a match against Isaiah Swerve Scott. This match for me is virtually what we've come to expect from these two, and that's not a knock.
No, it's good.
It's usually good, fast-paced, innovative contests. What'd you think?
I was entertained. I did not really give Swerve a shot based on Garza on the main roster previous. So I figured he would get the dub, and he did. But it was entertaining.
I don't know the exact what you call it, but when they both were on top of the ropes, and then he jumped and kind of did like a Hurricane Rana, I thought that was very sweet. I mean, you see stuff that Isaiah Swerve Scott's doing, and I'm pretty sure he's at least 6 foot tall. Like,
he's not a shrimp, I'll tell you that.
The dude is moving. And I tell you what, he's one of those guys I got my eye on. I'm looking at him like, this man could be NXT champion in 2020. I'm dead serious. I think he could be a champion this year.
This year?
I know that might be early, but yeah, he's 6'1".
That's a crowded card. I don't know.
It's my hot take of the day.
So that's sizzling.
But I'm not saying NXT champion. Maybe he could be North American.
You turd. You backtracker.
I'm changing that. He will be a champion of some sorts.
Okay. Tag team? Does that count?
Cruiserweight counts.
All right.
He hasn't held that yet. So
all right.
Isaiah Swerve Scott will be champion in 2020. Bookmark this right here on episode 19.
It was a half-court shot that you kind of turned into a layup.
Stepped over the line. I stepped over the line, I know. But there's no, like you said, there's no stopping Garza right now. He's got this momentum. He's just on the main roster. He gets a win. Very good matchup. A lot of wrestling on this show, I felt like.
Yep.
A very heavy wrestling show as we went into Dominik Dijakovic versus Killian Dane. I don't know what it is about Killian Dane. I'm trying to put my finger on it, but I just don't care.
It's the back hair. Like,
That's
dude, you can't find someone to shave it. There ain't nobody in that locker room that'll touch it. Come on, man.
He's got to get Nikki Cross to shave it. They're married, I think.
Oh, God. Who
a
do you
hairy
feel
couple.
more sorry for?
Oh, come on. Nikki's a nice lady.
She is nice. This match could have benefited from being a triple threat with a smaller guy in it, I think. It happened.
Yeah, that's virtually all you can really say. It was fine. And like I said earlier, when you get two big men going at it, it's hard to really get anything special going. And even just transitions in this match felt a little off. And
yeah, a little clunky.
Yeah, once again, I think it's a Killian Dane thing. I don't think he's a bad wrestler. He just really doesn't have a direction right now. And I don't know, what can you do with Killian Dane?
Yeah.
He used to be a part of Sanity. Do you remember those days? Were you around
briefly,
for those days?
Yeah.
That was with Nikki, Alexander Wolf, who's now a part of Imperium, and Eric Young, who we actually saw get a match against Aleister Black on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Did you remember that?
Yeah, no, yeah. But
wait, that's another thing. Can we go there for a second? What's going on with Aleister Black?
Okay.
What? How many squash matches does this guy need?
Well, yeah, what are you doing with him? He can't possibly go home and be like, I crushed it this week. This is awesome. You know what I mean? Like,
I just don't know what they're thinking. Maybe their plan was Andrade, and they obviously have to pivot now because we're
Swerve.
Oh, let's see what you did there. I don't know. It's frustrating. But going back to the Dominik Dijakovic win, it got him a match against Keith Lee. We'll see that next Sunday. And like we said last week, probably no chance Dominik's winning this one.
No, it'll be a good one, but no.
I think this is Dijakovic's first title match ever. And he's been in the company now for 3 years, so
yeah.
I wouldn't put my chips into that basket. That's all I'm saying. But it should be a good match. We've seen them have numerous matches. They've even tagged together. Very rare face-versus-face match that's going to be happening at TakeOver.
Yeah. Cool.
That's all I got.
Yep.
Let's move on here.
All right,
Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano in a backstage interview. short and sweet one here. Gargano virtually was saying he wants the Finn Balor from NXT, not the Finn who we consistently would see losing to Bobby Lashley on the main roster.
That's a shot. That is a shot, and that is a statement. And Finn.
Did you see his reaction? Oh, he was pissed. He is like his nostrils were flaring and everything.
Yeah, Finn wants to end him. So
served its purpose.
Yeah, it is what it is. A little different having them kind of like video conference or whatever, you know.
What else can you really do with them, though?
If you put them in the same room, they should want to beat the hell out of each other. So,
and that's virtually what they've been doing up to that. It's just we're running out of, we have too much time going into this match. Like, what else can you do to build this?
Right.
I guess this is the way of doing it, and then save something for next week because somebody's got to get the final say. That's how wrestling goes.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see who wins that takeover. We will give those predictions next week. We're not giving out spoilers here.
Yep, can't wait to see Vogus.
Well, talk to us about the next match here, Tuggy.
The next match, we had Mercedes Martinez square off against Casey Catanzaro. It was good to see her back.
I like seeing Casey on TV.
Yeah, she's snappy, you know.
Mighty Casey.
I don't treat her as a viable threat, but she can be entertaining. She can be springy. She could make a run, but I don't see her as a title shot. Mercedes Martinez is a little bit more along the lines of someone you could see making a run. We did not see Shotzi this week, so that happened.
Yeah, that's surprising. We had a lot of Shotzi lately, but instead we got Mercedes Martinez, who just signed. We actually did see her on AEW. I believe it was in that Battle Royal.
She was like the wild card or whatever at the end.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy to see her once again come back because we saw her in the Mae Young Classic. But this actually was a showcase match for her, letting her show her dominance. And I think this is also maybe a mild take. I think she could be that next badass, that next Shayna Baszler. I'm not saying she's going to be as good as Shayna, but I think Mercedes Martinez is just one of those girls that you throw her at the top of the card right away, she'll be fine.
I do too. She's got the body, she's got the personality. You know, we're not looking for big necessarily. We're not, but like
as in stature.
You can't look at Casey Catanzaro and be like, that's like. But we also could not look at Riho and think that she would.
Nyla Rose.
But she is. And I don't think it's going well at AEW on that front. I'm not a fan.
We'll get there.
And we will get there.
We will.
But I could see Mercedes making a push.
I don't know if it's right away, but eventually. It's just a crowded. We've said this numerous times. NXT women's division is so crowded with talent.
And they only have one title to deal with. That's the other thing. You can see Swerve getting a strap of some sort, but in the next year, Mercedes Martinez is. She's not probably going to challenge for it. But how do you introduce a women's mid card?
I think your only way of getting more titles on that show is not introducing a new title. It's just eventually the Kabuki Warriors losing those tag titles, and they're picked up by I can't even think of a team off the top of my head, but maybe Candice LeRae and someone, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Keep the belts in NXT for a while, let it hop around.
Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, yeah.
Because they're not doing anything. What are they doing with those titles in the main roster right now?
Nothing. Asuka's in a singles.
Exactly. Kyrie's just chilling like, hey, I'm a champion, but I do nothing.
Right.
And that's probably the way you would get more women featured for sure. But after that, we would get the new Cruiserweight champion, Jordan Devlin, taking on Tyler Breeze, and they really let these guys go. We got to see this match for, it seemed like a half hour.
Yeah, I was about ready to tune it out at first because I'm not really attached to either guy. But, yeah, the longer it went on, the more and more I watched, and Tyler Breeze, not a joke.
And that's what frustrates me, too, because I've been watching Tyler Breeze since he started in NXT.
Yeah.
He puts on good matches, and I've seen probably over 100 Tyler Breeze matches. This is probably number 2, if not number 1 on that list.
Really?
And I got to give credit to Devlin here. We don't get to see a lot of him because he's on the UK brand, but now that he's Cruiserweight champion, we're going to see him. He's very sound in the ring. They can do a lot of things that are fun. And Tyler Breeze, I don't know what it is exactly. Maybe it's just because he's been there for a while. It makes me want to root for him. He's a very good babyface.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed watching him, and he's at that point now where I'm not comparing him to Kofi Kingston, but Kofi was going for so long without any kind of real push, and it was easy to get behind him during that Mania run, and Breeze being around for so long as well. The gimmick, I don't know, helps. I don't know else how you would rebrand him, but last night, that was one of the highlights of the night between both shows for me, was that match.
I think it was the best match we saw Wednesday night from both shows. I really think these two put on a good one. And a comparison for me, maybe with Tyler Breeze, compare this to somebody on the main roster, Cesaro, a guy with a lot of talent, not a lot of direction, hasn't really been given the chance. Which brings me to another thing. I don't know if you saw the Twitter thing from last week. There was something that was going around. They're like...
the coronavirus?
No, not the coronavirus. Right. This guy tweeted out, popular opinion, Cesaro should have been world champion by now. And I go, unpopular opinion, Cesaro shouldn't have been WWE champion by now. And then Vogus and Ian chimed in. They think he should have. Do you think that's a fair take? Do you think Cesaro should have been world champion already?
From a wrestling standpoint, I think he can give it a go, but I don't see Cesaro and want to get behind him, and I think it's the mic thing, but for me...
a guy like Paul Heyman, I guess.
Yeah.
That can only go so far, because it only really works with Brock Lesnar.
Right.
That's my only take. Do I like Cesaro? Yes. Is he going to put on good matches? Yes. Is he durable? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You look for that in a champion, because you don't want him getting injured. It's not like, when you look at a marquee... Do you see Cesaro as the face of the WWE?
Nope.
I don't either. And maybe that's what they see with Tyler Breeze, too. They've never put a single strap on him whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my comparison there.
Well, maybe last night...
Put him back on the map?
Changed a mind or two. Yeah, I don't know.
You could even have a multi-man cruiserweight title match at WrestleMania. That would steal the show.
Sure.
Get Swerve on there, get all those guys. Sure. Where's Cameron Grimes?
What's he been up to?
Maybe he's still looking for his hat.
Could be.
Kushida was on NXT, but he got beat up. Poor guy. But after that, we got the segment with Charlotte Flair returning to Full Sail. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, of course, are going to be there. And what I got out of this promo was very intense, very entertaining. And Rhea seems to be a little distracted going into NXT TakeOver.
Yeah, there's that possibility that Bianca could sneak up on her. With the whole Charlotte angle, but Rhea brought it on herself,
Yeah.
So
Rhea made the first move, really.
Right. And I'm pretty invested in this Charlotte NXT angle. So
do you think they are maybe even hinting towards a possible triple threat? Is there a way Charlotte shows up at TakeOver and just takes them both out? I wouldn't hate it. What would you rather see? Charlotte versus Rhea, Charlotte versus Bianca, or a triple threat?
Charlotte versus Rhea.
Really?
Yep, and let Bianca take it on her own.
Okay.
Over time.
I think your most fun match will be the triple threat,
because
there's so many dynamics you can throw there. I think the best story you're going to get is with Bianca, and then out of the two singles matches, Rhea and Charlotte would probably be the best. But that's the more marketable one.
I did like her "You don't even go here" line. You don't even go here.
Bianca's great, and she's on fire right now after the Rumble and all that.
Oh, yeah?
It makes me wonder, because they're hinting towards, I think there might be a chance Bianca can sneak a win here at TakeOver. Rhea's overlooking her.
Yeah.
Can't overlook the EST of NXT, Tug.
Come on now.
You just can't.
Nope.
But, hey, overall thoughts?
Cool. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think it makes the most sense with Charlotte down there. And I appreciate them not trying to rehash a feud heading into Mania season. So
yeah, we don't want to see Charlotte versus Becky again.
No.
Charlotte versus Bayley. We've seen it. We don't need to see it again just now. But the main event of NXT was the Undisputed Era, not Roddy Strong competing in this one, versus the Broserweights and Tommaso Ciampa. These guys were virtually brawling what seemed the whole night.
Yeah.
The Undisputed Era was looking for Ciampa.
Yep.
And how about Roddy Strong shaving that guy's head?
Yeah, bold move. I don't know.
It's not a good look.
Whoever volunteered for it was like, this is my moment.
How much money is this my He was wrestling in the bingo hall one night. He's like, I just got my head shaved from Roderick Strong.
Yeah, ever heard of him?
I have. I wonder how much money he got. How much would it take you to get your head just like buzzed over like that?
From like
to be on NXT? Like
zero.
You'd do it for free?
I'd probably pay to do it, actually.
Actually, now that I think about it,
I'm in it for the experience.
And this just shows how big of marks we are. I probably would pay a couple $100 just to get on NXT TV.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that's my claim to fame.
Yep.
I could show my kids. I get Roddy Strong cut my hair. But speaking of Strong, he was doing his thing ringside because he wasn't competing. He was the extra man, and that's eventually what led to him getting involved. We saw the DQ after pretty solid action. Adam Cole brings out the spray paint, sprays an X on the back of Ciampa. Then the lights go out, Tuck. Look to the corner of the ring. There's a purple spotlight, and what do you see?
The Velveteen Dream.
Hit it!
Yep.
He's back.
He is. Yeah, 2-5-20. We got it right.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't really that hard.
No.
I do like how like the circles of the 2-5-20 kind of collapse, and they made like the Dreams glasses that he always wears.
Yep.
Electric stuff there. Velveteen Dream missed the boat on this whole NXT on live TV thing because of his injury. So finally, people that have never seen him on USA Network are getting to see the Velveteen Dream.
And they're welcome.
I know you were at that takeover, right? Or were you not? Where Ricochet faced Velveteen?
No, I was not. I was watching that at my house with my 3 nieces.
Interesting. I was there live, and that's probably my favorite match, if not the War Games matches that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Velveteen Dream is, I think, 24 or 25 years old. You don't need to strap the major title to him yet, but man, having him on NXT is just adding another star to an already star-studded lineup. It really is. And I can't wait to see what they got for him.
I know.
What's next for him? What do you think's on the Dream's radar here?
Do they put him in a match at TakeOver?
What, against like Roddy?
I guess.
Isn't that that's the guy who took away his title.
Yeah.
So I guess you could have a match between those two. We already got Finn and Gargano. We got the Broserweights and Undisputed Era. Cole Ciampa, Bianca Rhea. I don't think there's room.
I think there's 6 matches already announced. Yeah.
I don't think there's room for that. So
yeah.
But eventually they're going to have to lead to something. We got WrestleMania weekend coming up. Just a lot of guys.
Yep.
Like, what do you, I mean,
it's a good problem to have.
Is it though?
Yes.
You think?
Yep.
With even Finn down there and everything? Because what happens if Finn ends up getting that big win? Eventually you're going to have to put Finn in the NXT Championship match.
Yep.
You got The Dream, you got Gargano, you got Ciampa. A lot of guys there.
Yeah,
Keith
SmackDown
Lee.
could use a guy or two.
That's true.
From them.
Doesn't it feel like on SmackDown we kind of just see the same guys just recycled in a different way?
And we know that's problematic. We've talked about it before with other brands. So, yeah,
Power rank the brands as of right now for you that you get the most enjoyment out of. I'm including Dynamite in here.
NXT, Raw, SmackDown, AEW.
AEW 4
Mm-hmm.
on the must-watch list.
No, it's actually 3. I'd put it above SmackDown.
Mine would be NXT, AEW, just because it's still new to me and I'm still just kind of diving my teeth into it.
Mm-hmm.
Raw, and the Raw and AEW is really close right now because I feel like Raw's been getting better.
Raw's picking it up.
And 100% last SmackDown.
Yeah. SmackDown, AEW's 3rd for me. I've enjoyed Raw lately.
I mean, SmackDown moved to Fox. We thought we were going to get a great show now that they were moving to Fridays once again.
How does it get worse?
You got the biggest spot you've ever had in the history of the company.
know.
You're on the Fox network. Everyone gets Fox.
Yeah.
Everyone. You could be homeless and you go to the street and you pull up an antenna. You could turn on SmackDown.
You can get Fox.
Like, Jesus Christ, guys. Pick your shit up. You're letting these... never mind. AEW, let's talk about that. The first matchup here, Jon Moxley, the number 1 contender, going up against Ortiz, the tag team specialist.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed them. They really were putting that over.
Yeah, they were sending that home, but he did hold his own.
And the crowd was giving him heat.
Yeah.
Like, you suck Ortiz chants and all that. And I think the commentary helped, obviously, just saying Jericho even said he hadn't had a singles match in 583 days. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, Ortiz held his own against the top guy probably in AEW. Wasn't easy for Mox, but he would ultimately get the win. After that, he would take out Jericho's keys, the car that he got for him to join the Inner Circle, poke the eye of Santana, eye for an eye.
Kind of cool.
You like it?
Yeah.
I definitely think it was better than NXT's opening.
Yeah. The kind of the brutality from top to bottom on AEW. I don't need it every week, but it shows how they'll push the limit a little bit. So
they need to.
Yeah, you have to differentiate yourself. You don't have to go full hardcore ECW type stuff.
No.
And be kitschy like that. But
Nobody
spots
wants
like
that anymore.
right? No, we're good. But I thought it was a good open.
Yeah, it was good. I'd give that match a solid B if we're giving that a rating there.
Yeah.
John Moxley obviously is going to get the win, and then we're just prolonging this until Revolution, and that was a good way to do it, having him face somebody from the Inner Circle. After that, we got the former champions, SCU!
Ooh, no feedback detection.
Versus,
so
I'm getting better at
you were
that.
sleeping on it.
Versus the Best Friends. Thoughts on this one here?
Yeah, good. Just good tag team wrestling. AEW does a good job with the tag teams. Nothing for me to super write home about other than the finish with the Dark Order coming out. But
can I admit something to you?
you love Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy's growing on me.
Really?
He is.
Okay.
It's so stupid. Like, whatever he does is just so dumb. But that's why it's so great.
Right. Well, and there's one. There's one Orange Cassidy. It's not top to bottom. I don't flip shit when the Best Friends hug like everybody
No,
else
that's...
does.
Trent Beretta is obviously the better wrestler out of the two.
Yes.
I forget the other guy's name all the time, but I only know Trent because he used to be in WWE. But the most entertaining, Orange Cassidy.
I love when he kicks him and he still slaps his leg to make the noise. Like he embodies, it's fun.
I love when the Dark Order was trying to recruit him after this, and he put his hands up like he was going to join right back into the pocket. They just beat the shit out. But like you said, yeah, the Dark Order would come out and take down SCU, take down the Best Friends. And they're just continuing this recruitment of Christopher Daniels. Obviously a big deal. Like, they got to get Christopher Daniels now.
Yeah, it's almost at like this infatuation type thing where he is the prize right now. They also kind of set the stage where like now like he could have just turned his back on Orange Cassidy and beat the crap out of him and went to the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Like, could you see?
I could. I think eventually this is going to lead to Christopher Daniels in the Dark Order.
With a mask on, though, or no?
No, he probably won't be one of the...
Not all of them. Yeah, they're not all masked.
They're not. No, they're not. So they even, like, the JR and them are, like, referring to it as a cult. Like, they know it's a cult. It's recognized as that. I think eventually that's what we're leading to here. I don't know when that's going to be, but hey, Christopher Daniels in the Dark Order, maybe that can get them in the tag team title scene. Who knows? But after that, we got Yuka. I'm going to butcher this name. You want to help me?
No, you got it. It's
Sakazaki.
You hesitated. Sakazaki, that's it.
Yuka Sakazaki versus Britt Baker. The match itself, I wasn't huge on. I didn't think it was special.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like Aladdin out there.
Yes. Who are Yuka, honestly? Apparently she hasn't been back in a while. She fought at Fyter Fest.
She did.
Off. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Me neither.
I don't know. But, I mean, she was okay. I'm not saying she's a bad wrestler, but she actually gets the win here.
I thought it was going to be a squash match.
So did I.
So
interesting choice, but that's what eventually made Britt snap. Mm-hmm. This is like her first physical snap of her heel turn.
Yep.
She kind of just puts the mouth over the ropes of Yuka, breaks off some teeth.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice little touch, especially since she's the dentist.
Oh, she is.
Wait, you didn't know that?
Oh, shit.
DMD?
Got it.
Doctor of Medical Dentist stuff.
Dentist. No, it's DMDS. Yeah.
One of these times.
It was cool because Britt didn't win, and it was a good use of that angle. She doesn't win. We see that she can get crazy.
Super aggressive. Like, we got the blood, and then afterwards she put her in a submission. Like,
again, we're at an eye gouge spot.
Yeah.
Teeth of more. We lost more teeth than a hockey game tonight.
The slobber knocker.
Oh yeah. So
yeah, and once again, love Britt Baker. Love what she's doing here. Keep this up. Give Britt Baker the championship. Let's just get to that. Can we fast forward to Britt Baker as AEW Women's Champion? It just needs to happen, ladies and gentlemen. After that, we would get 8-man tag action. The Elite, which would be Hangman, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks versus the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Bros. Babyface is rolling early in this one. A lot of spots as you're going to get in the Elite matches. One thing I want to complain about, though, is I think it got away from the ref, whether that's intentional or accidental. Because we had multiple times where there was like maybe 4 or 5 different people in the ring. Tags were getting confusing. And I think that might just be an AEW thing, just trying to get those spots.
That's been a problem. It has been an issue, especially with the Lucha Bros not caring about tags and stuff, just trying to get to the action. And, when you're...
But everybody was doing it.
Right. Well, yeah, right. In this match, it was
Yes.
all over the place, And it takes the believability away from
Yes.
me a little bit. You can't be in there. You didn't tag in. You get out. Stop. Quit it.
And you can see the ref, purposely delaying his count or just not even counting at all. You're supposed to count to 10. Just give it some,
There are rules here.
Yeah.
This is not there are rules.
You're the company that does records.
Right.
You should strictly enforce the rules of a wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be 8 guys in the ring at once. I know that happens in every wrestling company. But at least with WWE, you could see the ref show urgency, start counting.
Yeah.
I didn't see that here. And I don't know, once again, if that's intended or the ref really just didn't care.
Yeah, interesting to see what the conversation looked like after, if it was a ref thing or if it was yes, that went exactly as we planned it.
So that's one of those things me and you don't know. And I don't know if anybody listening knows that, the insides of that. Stuff like that. Is that a ref thing or is that planned? I don't know.
Yeah, they have an earpiece in, right? They could be getting on the guy, but
yeah, that's true. If anybody knows, if anybody's an insider, let us know. But what I took away from this match itself was just this Hangman story with the Elite, the progression of it. He was trying to do too much. He wanted to be the star of the show here, Adam Page I'm talking about. And that eventually would end up getting him losing in this match. The Lucha Bros would get the pinfall. Storyline progression, solid match, much needed win for the Lucha Bros. That's my take on this.
Yeah, and the old power of hubris kind of gets it. Hangman, he wants to get some shine and ends up beating the pinfall. So the tag champions were the ones that were pinned. We've got the Battle Royal coming up.
We got a tag team title match next week. SCU has a title match. Did you see that?
Yeah,
we have 2 championship matches next week on AEW. I'm wondering if NXT is going to answer with anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is the go home to TakeOver, so that in itself should sell. Yeah. But we're getting Nyla Rose versus Rio. We're getting SCU versus Hangman.
Do they take it off of Rio before Revolution or no?
No. I wouldn't be surprised if they took it off of Omega and Hangman and made SCU 2-time champions. I wouldn't.
See, I don't think we're there yet. I think Hangman and Adam Page and Kenny Omega are going to square off against the Lucha Bros at Revolution. That's my guess.
I would love to see it.
And I think Hangman's going to win. And Omega will win.
Throw the Young Bucks in there.
Then you turn it Double or Nothing, Young Bucks, Hangman.
Oh, you know that match is coming.
Yeah, but I think it's too soon now.
Fair. Okay. But after that match itself, the 8-man, we would get Pac. He'd be backstage with Rio, virtually just demanding a match with Kenny Omega because Kenny Omega was getting an interview after that. But Pac was like, I'm a bastard, but I'm not going to put my hands on a woman.
But I'm not a beast. Yes.
Who shows up, Tuck?
Nyla Rose.
The table didn't even break.
She weighs 40 pounds.
That's true.
Nyla would have to drive herself through that table, too.
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to find a way to nitpick at Nyla Rose, but Rio does weigh 80 pounds. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, trying to throw her through a table probably isn't easy. But, yeah.
Kairi Sane didn't break the table during that ladder match with Becky and Charlotte.
Also a smaller woman.
Skinny ones, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Excitement level for Nyla Rose versus Rio next week.
Man, I got to tell you, I'm off the charts here. I'm at like a -1, -2 here.
Not even on the scale. Quick pick. Who you got? Rio?
Rio.
Okay, me too. After that, we get Joey Janela versus Kip Sabian. This feud is the feud that seems to never want to end, and I wish I cared, but I just don't care, Tuck. I don't care.
Yeah, same. Lana and Bobby Lashley or the Joey Janela, Kip Sabian, Penelope Ford angle. Yep.
Nope, I'm not picking.
Don't put that on me.
Fine, I'll take Joey Janela and Kip Sabian because the other one's terrible.
I like Rusev. And then we got Liv out of it, too. Hey.
Yeah, that's true. But I didn't even think the match was good.
No, yeah.
I think, Joe, you've stated this because you know a little bit more about Janela. He's more of a hardcore guy, right?
Yeah,
that might just be what he is.
And that's okay, but you have to recognize that. Identify it, and make it happen.
I also think this match itself had a lot more going on the outside with Penelope Ford and just all the shenanigans. They're trying to get very cute with this feud, and I guess that makes sense because that's kind of what this feud's been. But, man, you're talking about stinkers of Wednesday night. This was a big stinker for me.
Yeah. That it might have been the lowest one out of
Both shows?
both shows.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of NXT.
Yeah, I don't know.
There wasn't like a real true stinker
Stinker
on
on
NXT.
NXT,
Yeah,
right.
this for me, the stinker of the week goes to Joey Janela and Kip Sabian. Tucky, what have they won? Is that a fart?
Not a real one. I'm not farting into a mic. Savage.
We should make that a thing. The stinker of
Stinker
the
of the
week.
week. Stinker of the week.
And you get a bag of Charmin to wipe your
Oh,
ass
nice.
afterwards. Yeah.
That's actually no Scott's.
You're a Scots guy?
No, I'm not. I'm a
Oh.
Sherman guy, but because
Like
it was
the
so
very thin
shitty. Yeah.
toilet paper that breaks when you're
We're
trying to wipe your
sending them a
butt.
pack of 1-ply.
The stinker of the week goes to Kip Sabian and Joey Janela. Beep, 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 beep. After that, the final segment on AEW Dynamite would be Cody Rhodes receiving his 10 lashings. There's two kind of people I see on Twitter right now after this. There's those that enjoyed everything about it. They thought this was a great way to end Dynamite. Very intense and served its purpose. And then there's people that hated it.
Yeah.
They hated every single second of it. Where do you stand?
I liked it.
You did.
I did, yeah. The whole time I was trying to figure out how they were going to gimmick it to make it less painful for Cody, but he hit him in different spots. He
did.
got slapped all over. I thought it was brutal. And again, I'm good on this. I don't need it again for a long time. You know, kind of like the brutality in the Moxley Omega match. Satiates
A lot of brutality
the palate.
tonight.
Yeah. Yep. Do you think it was too much, though?
Yes.
You do.
All right, so here it is. I think this is good for the story.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. You're just going to get more people that want Cody to win now, more people booing MJF. I just think it dragged. This
Yeah.
felt like when Moxley was joining the Inner Circle.
Yeah.
I think we milked it up a little bit. You had people standing on the stage, and Arn comes out, and Dustin, the Young Bucks. I get their concern, and then Brandy at the end.
Yeah.
But let's just get them out of the way, and then maybe after that, Wardlow and Cody can go at it, and there's just a brawl with everybody with MJF scurrying off because he's too scared to get involved because he's a heel, and he doesn't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
I get the purpose. I do, and I think it was brutal. You saw the scars. You can go on Twitter right now, and you can see the wounds.
Battle scars.
Second song drop of that in the past weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of like when Daniel Bryan was in the strap match. But, yes, I get it. Did I like it? Meh.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that would give that crap if that was happening in WWE.
Did WWE make that strap match a strap match to get ahead of the lashings?
I don't think so. Because they both were for different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the strap match was there just so Daniel Bryan and The Fiend could be closer to one another, and nobody can really escape
Right.
from each other's grasp. And these lashings were predetermined. Like, we knew this was coming. No, I don't think so. Do you?
I don't know.
You do, I think, a little bit.
A little bit.
But you liked it.
Yeah, because I wasn't
Any
Cody.
criticism?
It was sluggish, but I understand because if he's actually getting lashed, it would have to be a little sluggish, but different. I haven't seen it.
No, and that's something that AEW is good at doing
Yep.
things that are different and trying to push the envelope a little bit. And then I saw somebody tweet this, and they're like, you're really doing these lashings during Black History Month? That wasn't their intentions.
Come on.
Like, we're nitpicking there. So
Yeah.
that's not the reason why I was indifferent about that segment. I just thought it dragged on a little bit.
Yeah.
And that might be my only complaint because I get it. It makes sense. But maybe end the show with a match or just a brawl. I don't know. This was just a little different, which might not be a bad thing, Tuck. But
Yeah.
you know, that's all I really got on that. Anything else from Dynamite?
No.
All right. You know what that
It looked like a library, though. They were not shy about showing the empty upper deck, which is
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
saw
saw
it.
pictures. Again, could have been weather or whatever. I know.
Hey,
like,
Raw had weather issues, and we heard about
they-
it 3 times.
at
At
yeah,
least.
yeah.
And look at our fans. Good, bravo to our fans for showing up tonight. Let's pat ourselves on the back one more time, WWE.
Yeah. I don't even know. Weren't they in like Texas though? Yeah.
Salt Lake City.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh,
Dynamite. I don't know.
AEW?
I don't know where Dynamite was.
I don't
but,
know.
Man, it looked empty. But that's not. I didn't think it took away from the show. But
No, I'm not saying that.
no, I didn't say you were. But I
Oh.
think I still thought it was a good show. Does when Double or Nothing tickets go on sale, is it an instant sellout like it was last year?
Double or Nothing. When does that take place again? Do you know?
No.
They were in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh yeah, so probably no weather.
Let's look it up here. I'm gonna look.
But
up,
I know. Like when they go to New Jersey, they've got 10,000 tickets sold. So like,
didn't they sell out of Revolution really quick too?
it was quick. We didn't
That's
have
Chicago.
we didn't have trouble getting tickets on that day. It wasn't like a 5-minute sellout like it was, but we did within the span of 5 minutes lose 3 rows.
It's a big deal. Saturday, May 23rd in Las Vegas, Double or Nothing. Tickets go on sale on Valentine's Day. So if you don't want to get your girlfriend or your fiance a
Or if
shirt,
you do.
or package deal,
Yeah.
you do that. We'll give you a guest spot on the Mark Wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
But you have to buy the T-shirt.
Yep.
And you have to go to Double or Nothing.
Yeah, you can be the OTM correspondent.
Because me and Tucker are flying to Vegas. I'm already going there in March.
Yeah.
Not doing it again in May. That's a lot of money.
Couple more sponsors, we'll go to all the shows, but
Maybe one day when we hit the lottery.
Yep.
That's the only chance I see. But like we always do,
And this podcast is brought to you by Jim Tucker's Powerball Lottery winnings.
we always talk about it. But I'm telling you, if I hit the lottery, OTSN that's your full time job.
I'm in.
We're going to crank out podcasts all day and content, and we're
Yep.
just going to live the life. But every week we vote which show we enjoyed better. This is not ratings based because a lot of people are going to question why is NXT ahead of AEW. This is what we personally like week by week between the two.
And it's currently 9-6 with NXT in favor. AEW got the win last week to bring it to 9-6.
Let me just put this
So-
out there before we vote.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't a huge fan of either show.
No, it's last week was tough because I thought both shows were fairly solid.
They were.
This one we're going to nitpick. If we're split, we're going to nitpick our way and kind of default to one or the other.
This might be the first time I say this. I think if you didn't watch either show live this week, you didn't really miss much. Like,
No.
if you skipped a week and you're just like, I'm not going to watch live.
Well, most must-see match, Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze and
Tyler Breeze match?
Devlin. Like,
Yeah. And it was a good match. It was a good match.
the 8-man tag in the AEW
Oh,
was good.
yeah.
I mean, but once again, I could have skipped this week and I'd be like, okay, I didn't really miss that much.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we got to vote, Tuck. You going to count us down?
You got it. 3, 2, 1.
NXT. And here we go again. We got to split. I don't think you're going to be able to convince me this time, unless you want to try to.
I would like to hear you convince me because I'm not sold on AEW's pick. The thing for me was just the spots, the eye spot, the tooth spot, the lashings. That's all I got.
I liked the Bianca, Charlotte, Rhea segment. I thought we're building, like you said last week, we were building the AEW Revolution. I think they did a better job at building to take over Portland this week. We got storyline progression with the Broserweights and the Undisputed Era. Angel Garza, Isaiah Scott, they had a good match. Yes, there was one NXT stinker, now that I think about it, Dijakovic and Killian Dane. But once again, we're building to Gargano Balor. We're building all these different kind of matches. We had the best match of the night, in my opinion, with Devlin and Breeze. AEW side of things, everything was solid to good, maybe.
Yeah, 10-6 NXT. Here's my take with the AEW. They built towards one match.
So I convinced you?
Yeah. They built towards one match at Revolution. From
We
top
built
to
to
bottom.
more.
They bookended AEW with Jericho in that feud, and then that didn't build really, and then they really pushed from top to bottom, beginning to end. The lashings at the end, which wasn't even a match actually.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I think the lashings kind of hurt by going on last. I think if we main evented with maybe the 8-man, I could be thinking differently. Or even main evented with Moxley and Ortiz, and they just had shenanigans happen afterward with the stabbing to the eye. I think that could have been a better close.
Yeah.
You start with the lashings.
With the lashings.
It might be the only downfall for me
with
here.
Cody for the rest of the 2 hours and see how he was, and have all those people walk in throughout the show.
Kind of like depressed or a little concerned.
Yeah.
I think it's the way that AEW booked their show this week is the reason I'm going to put NXT. And it's not far. Like, this is the closest margin, I think.
Yeah, and we said that last week, too, but for different purposes, I think.
We might get some backlash here, but I don't give a shit. This is our show.
10-6 NXT. I'm okay with it.
NXT. Next week, it's going to be hard for NXT, I think, to top. Just because of 2 title matches. Like, AEW's going to bring it.
Mm-hmm. Is the steel cage match next week or the week after?
No, I think that's the week after.
Hey, I'm ready for it, man.
So we're on the road to NXT TakeOver Portland. That's the go-home show next week. And 2 title matches for AEW Dynamite. Any final thoughts, Tucky?
No, that's about it. Pretty kind of lackluster week in professional wrestling. Not
we got to see 2 returns and a new champion.
Terrible,
yeah.
But headline wise, we're gonna have to put something together here. But last thoughts. That's about it for me. Make sure you go to otsportsnetwork.com. Check out the blogs and the podcast. Follow us at Pod on the Mark on Twitter, at JimTuck89 on Twitter, and follow Kyle on Twitter at Too Sweet Kyle. Too sweet.
I got final thoughts.
Okay.
We got 2 returns. Ruby Riott, Velveteen Dream. Good. Glad. New champion, Braun Strowman. Happy for it. NXT and AEW combined, probably the worst week that I have seen. And that's saying a lot because it still was good.
We've had so many good weeks.
I'm just being the nitpicking person that I am. I have to be that guy.
Yep.
Hoping next week's better, but I still enjoyed talking some wrestling, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, and you'll be happy to know that we scheduled out basically the next 6 weeks with baseball, and every Thursday I've got free, so same time next week, my man.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll be here, that's for sure.
Thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling
Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the On the Mark Podcast.
Brock Lesnar going for an F5 to Cena for the championship. Lesnar with the cover.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information and updates, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Pod on the Mark.